Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the anime Kill La Kill, and I really enjoyed this anime. Now granted, I had to watch the first episode twice because the animation at first was kind of jarring for me. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? But as I got into it, I really started to appreciate the style more and really get into it, especially with what was going on with the action. The second was that the subtitles seemed to be going a little bit too fast, so I kind of had to adjust myself to the speed of what was going on. So overall, I really like this anime mainly because it certainly falls within the vein of Gurren Lagann, since it has the people that had worked on Gurren Lagann before, and you just see it in the outrageousness of what's going on, i.e. people wearing clothing and becoming superpowered and having to fight other sentient clothing that wants to eat the human race and continue spreading throughout the universe. Yeah, it's nuts as shit, but that works within its favor. Oh, I don't mind anime that does quote unquote kind of stupid stuff as long as it knows that it's stupid and just fucking rolls with it. And this is one of those series. It's like, okay, I'm wearing a sentient sailor uniform that drinks my blood and pretty much turns me into a fan service kind of thing, barely covering anything, but let's go for it. It's just crazy. So this show follows Ryoko Matoi as she's trying to find who killed her father, and using half of the scissor blade that she had found impaled in him to kind of do that, trying to find the matching one. So she's going around to high schools, all that, pretty much a delinquent kind of person, really tough and ready for a fight. And of course she makes it to Honnouji Academy and finds these crazy people who are wearing these clothes that superpower themselves. And they're called Goku uniforms, and they go from people that don't have any of these to 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star, which are the head honchos, and above them is the president. And of course, she thinks that the president, Satsuki Kyorin, was the one that killed her father. Now granted, we find out later on through the series that she was only letting Ryoko believe this to kind of push her and help her with her agenda later on. And of course, she does her first fight, gets her ass kicked, and goes back to her family estate and falls and finds this sentient sailor uniform, Senketsu. And it's like, okay, she wears it, goes back, and beats the shit out of one of the people with one of these uniforms. And so she's going through pretty much trying to, at first, it's working her way to the top to try and get to the student council president and fight her. And that doesn't exactly work out because she's trying to fight and kind of take over all the rest of the high schools in Japan, and also take out this anti-clothes play organization, Nudist Beach, who one of their teachers is undercover there. So at a certain point, pretty much the halfway point, we find out that the student council president, Satsuki, was not trying to be a dictator person and was instead trying to trick her mother. We find out it's also Ryoko's mother, and that she's got the life fibers, the alien clothing, kind of bonded to her into her makeup, as well as her mother does, and her mother's trying to work with the life fibers to make the world into a life fiber egg and continue the spreading process of this. And that the student council president, Satsuki, was trying to fight against this. And of course they then work together since they find out that they're sisters, and just crazy battles ensue after that where they get into space. Now granted, it doesn't get to the heights literally of Gurren Lagann, where they in Gurren Lagann had mechas the size of universes fighting each other. This was a little bit smaller and instead was in space with their giant mother and Ryoko and Senketsu fighting her, and eventually defeating the life fibers and making life a little bit normal. And it was kind of cool at the end to kind of see them acting like regular teenage girls, going about their business. And I think I saw a Gurren Lagann logo or something similar to that effect on her jacket as she was walking away. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I overall really enjoyed this series for the crazy over-the-top situations that they did, and just rolling with the complete outlandishness of what was going on, but also really delving into Ryoko and Senketsu's relationship and kind of developing that a lot, developing her friendship with the one girl that she makes and her family, and what's going on with the rest of the people as well. Now, granted, her and her sister Satsuki are the most fleshed out. We do get like a lot of fleshing out of the student council presidents and their relationships to the student council president, and other than that, it's not much, but I think that's good enough for what's going on. You have to watch out when you're trying to develop characters, because if your cast gets too unwieldy, you start to lose focus, and yeah, you're making a lot of good character development for this one character, but if it doesn't come out or in any way truly positively impact the overall arching narrative, and it's just like, why am I watching this person do this? That doesn't really come into effect in this show. They do a nice balance of doing the over-the-top, awesome action bullshit going on, and actually developing the characters and plot along at a very nice pace. And I'm really glad I watched this, because it just does a really good balance of like the comedy of what's going on, and then taking itself seriously enough for what's going on with the battles and the fights, and like, oh, we need to like snap Ryoko out of this because she had bonded with another kind of sentient uniform that was forced on her by her mother, and all the kind of cool kind of stuff that they had to figure out with that. And I just overall think that like there aren't enough really good executed outlandish things out there, because you look at other animes, you look at like Attack on Titan and Sword Art Online, where they have really good premises, but they fall short in certain parts of their execution. Whereas this is like, yeah, we're gonna make an anime about sentient clothes that want to eat people, and make it with good action sequences and completely crazy fan service. And it just fucking does it, and does it well, and knows what it is, and just like, yeah, what you gonna do? So, if you're into action sequences that are completely crazy and all over the place, with really interesting animation it's fluid, and kind of, it's got this really kind of unfocused quality sometimes. It's like, almost like it's being drawn as you're watching it kind of thing, I think is the best way I can describe it, because it was like, oh shit, what am I truly watching the first time? It's like, oh god, it's hard to keep track, but once you get into it, you're able to follow the flow more effectively of the fluidity of the combat, of what's going on in scenes and what's going on with the characters, and it's just really well done. So if you're into that kind of stuff, and into cool, crazy characters, kind of on the level of like Gurren Lagann, One Punch Man, Dragon Ball Z, I would definitely recommend this series for you. So, those are my opinions on the anime. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.